Hello, welcome to CKE 10,000 Wins Gaming Channel. In this video, we'll be looking at my Itsuki Miku Weiss Schwarz deck profile. It's kind of the leftover cards I had after building my other two Quint decks, the Standby Nino and the Gold Bar Choice Yotsuba Ichika deck. So this is the third deck. It's not super competitive. It has some good cards. Probably with the movie set coming out, it'd be better to make, waifu decks, but these were the leftover cards I had from set 1 and 2 and the trial decks, so I made this as my third deck. We have 3, 6, 9, I think 15 level 0s, 10 level 1s, 6 level 2s, and then 11 level 3s and 8 clans cards. There's a lot of level 3s and 2s because the deck required experience for the one combo, but you can see it in more detail in the link in the description below on encoredex.com. So first card we're going to look at is I'm running 3 copies of the Nino Brainstormer. Let's see if I can see that. It has 2 effects. It has an auto effect when you reverse your opponent's character in battle. You can give one of your characters 500, and this is a self-rest brainstormer for salvaging. So 3 copies of this. Then I'm running 2 copies of the Riki or the Ichika. So it has 2 effects. They both trigger on play from hand. The first effect is looking at the top card of your deck, and you can put it on top of your deck or into the waiting room. And the second effect is pay 1, take a hit, and then search your deck for a level 1 or lower character card. Then I'm running 3 copies of the 4K beater. Three copies of like pseudo winter moments, the quintessential quintuplets Itsuki Nakano. So it's the level 0 bomber. And when it is put from stage into the waiting room, you can discard a card and look at top 4 cards and grab a level 1 or higher. That's how you can grab your important charm event, which is here. And we're running 2 copies of this Itsuki. It's a Nakano. It's a discard outlet. Worst timing. 2 autos. When this card is placed on stage from hand, reveal top card deck. If it's a character, a quintuplet character, put in your hand, choose a card in your hand, and put in your waiting room. Second effect is when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can discard a quintuplet character from your hand and then draw a card. So they both trigger, and you can choose to resolve which one you want first. Then my 2 tech copies, my tech choices. 1 copy of Conversation with Dad Itsuki Nakano. It's a climax swapper, and you can rest 2 of your quintuplet characters and choose one of your characters to give 3,000 power until end of turn. And then 1 copy of Studying in Advance Itsuki. 2 active abilities. The first is rest this card. You can choose one of your characters, and that character gets plus 500 power and the following ability until end of turn. When this card's battle point becomes reversed, you can put the top card of your opponent's clock in the waiting room and then put that character in the clock. So it stops anybody from maintaining field presence cards with Encore. And then the second effect is pay 2 stock, rest the card, salvage a quintuplet character from your waiting room. Then for the level 1 combo, it's probably better in the Itsuki waifu deck, where you can have like a increased max hand size, but Budding Trust Itsuki. This ability activates up to once time per turn. When you use an act, this card gets plus 1500 power until end of turn. And Climax combo is with experience condition. When this card attacks, if visiting her mother's grave is in your climax area and the total level of cards in your level is 2 or higher, you can discard a card. If you do, look at up to 3 cards from top of your deck, choose up to 3 code words or quintuplet characters surrounding them, reveal to your opponent, put it into your hand, and then put the rest into the waiting room. So possibly draw 3 after all characters. And then running 2 copies of New Student Miku. 2 copies of the 102K Miku backup. Then this card has everyone on it and has 3 effects. The first is continuous. This card can be played from your hand without fulfilling color requirements, so you don't have to have red in your clock or level. And then the other two are put one card from your hand into your waiting room, put this card into your waiting room, choose one of your characters in your waiting room, return to your hand. And the third effect is activate restless card, choose one of your characters, and that character gets plus 1,000 power until an opponent's next turn. So you can combo it with this using any of those act effects to trigger the Itsuki's plus 1,500 power effect. Then level 2, we're running one memory backup Miku. A New Year Nino. When this card attacks, if the character facing this card is level 3 or higher, this gets plus 6,000 power. And at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can exchange this card and one of your quintuplet characters and exchange them as stand. Main reason I'm running this is because what I noticed at level 2 was you have a lot of early plays, the 2 early plays, and they seem to always use up a lot of stock that you need. So sometimes you want to clear a lane and not have to use up stock, so this is one of the choices. Then we're running 2 copies of Belligerent Itsuki Nakano backup. It's just I believe an early play backup Punisher. Then 2 copies of the minus soul event Important Charm. Try to focus a bit. There you go. Then 4 copies of the Miku early play, Devoted Feelings Miku. If you have 4 more quintuplet characters, this gets a -1 level while in your hand. During your turn, if all your characters are quintuplet, this card gets plus 1,000 power. And when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may put the top card of the clock into your waiting room, so heals 1. And our other early play is the Everyone card. If your waiting room has 2 or less climaxes, this gets -1 level in your hand, and when this card is placed on stage, look at up to X cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card from one of them, add it to your hand, put the rest in your waiting room, X equals the number of quintuplet characters you have. So usually you can early play this, grab a card you need, then early play this to heal, so you have 2 early plays, and then the third card can be another one of these, or crush over something to play this to heal again, or this. Then for our finisher, we have 4 copies of A Step Forward Miku. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can heal 1, and then the second effect is when this card attacks, if opening up the way is in your class area, you can pay 1 stock. You also have to have another quintuplet character. Then, if you pay the cost, you can perform the following 2 effects 1 time each. Put the bottom 2 cards of your opponent's deck into the waiting room and deal X damage to your opponent. X equals the number of climax cards among those cards. And then the other effect is look at up to 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Choose up to 2 cards from one of them, put them on top of their deck in any order, and put the rest into the waiting room. So you can mill off climaxes and ping. Not very consistent on the pings, but more consistent on the stacks, I guess. But it is hitting for 3 souls, so even if you stack 2 cards, you're still hoping the third card isn't a climax. So the finisher is not that great, but it's a card I had, so we wanted to use it. And then the last 8 cards are the climax cards. 4 copies of Opening Up the Way. So 4 copies of this. And 4 copies of Visiting Her Mother's Grave for the low 1 combo. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check EncoreDecks.com and the link in the description below to see an overview of this deck profile.